OpenAI just released GPT-5 this month, GPT-5, I should say, this month, and it's the latest version of ChatGPT. And we asked Larry Roberts, the red hat guy, to come back and break down what's new and telling you I'm so excited to talk about this. We talked before the show, and it's amazing the ramifications of this new version of ChatGPT, the impact that it is. So tell us first, what is ChatGPT-5 all about?
Yeah, ChatGPT-5 is OpenAI's latest chatbot model. So they released it just recently, and the whole idea was that we were going to see this massive jump in the evolution of AI, but they actually ran into some backlash right out of the gate.
All right, well, let's talk about that, because it is different from other versions. What would you say are some of the key differences?
The biggest difference is it's tremendously much faster, and it's also much cheaper to use. But at the same time, we're seeing the effects of it being much colder and much more robotic and kind of mechanical in a lot of its output.
It has pressed a lot of buttons, and people are having some serious hot sports opinions about it. I mean, people are thinking that it's colder, it's not as user-friendly. They consider ChatGPT like a friend of theirs, and all of a sudden the friend is kind of giving them the cold shoulder. It is incredible, the reaction that we've seen from people with this latest version.
It was swift.
OpenAI, are they listening to all of this?
Oh, they definitely are, because within 24 hours of release, after the massive backlash that they experienced, they went ahead and reinstated an opportunity for us to choose some of the legacy models, and that's for the paid subscribers there. So although ChatGPT-5 is still the default, you can still use a drop-down menu to select ChatGPT-4, its predecessor.
All right, but they're also promising that they're going to continue to evaluate it and possibly bring back some of those elements from ChatGPT-4 into ChatGPT-5. Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, that's the entire goal. So they plan to make it much warmer. They're also going to be implementing some personality traits that users can select themselves. So there's an opportunity to personalize your experience with ChatGPT also.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about these relationships that people are having with ChatGPT. I mean, these are not just, being obsessed or it's very habitual. People are constantly looking on their phones. These are genuine relationships they're having. In fact, WFAA did a story this morning about withdrawal symptoms that kids are having because their phones are being taken away in the classrooms.
Yeah.
It's a commentary on what we're experiencing as a society right now. Do you think this is healthy?
Well, I'm in no position to say whether or not it's healthy, but I also...
Because your friend Megan,
yes, I was going to say, I named mine Megan, and Megan and I were having conversations on a regular basis.
Right.
But now with the release of ChatGPT-5, I don't even use the advanced voice mode anymore because it's so unpersonal. It's just not a connection there. And also, she just says all kinds of random stuff that just doesn't make sense.
All right, so can ChatGPT, can they reverse course on all of this?
Well, I don't know that they're going to reverse course, but they're going to make improvements. I mean, this is kind of like anything with a software release. There's going to be bugs and there's going to be stepping stones that we have to overcome to really get where we want to go.
All right, you touched on this briefly, but let's kind of talk about it in more specifics. What is OpenAI promising for the next version of GPT?
Well, they're still focused on ChatGPT-5, but they are promising to make it much warmer in its tone and also make it much more customizable because they've realized that the development and evolution of AI isn't just in functionality, but it's also in that human element. So you have to look at it from an empathetic design perspective. So that's what they plan on doing going forward.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Sam Altman. Of course, he's the CEO of OpenAI. What has been his response to the emotional reaction people have had to this change?
Well, and that's the biggest thing. He acknowledged the fact that they didn't take into consideration the emotional attachment that people were actually having with ChatGPT. He didn't realize that people looked at ChatGPT as a friend, and some even looked at it as a therapist. So he acknowledged that and made the commitment moving forward to keep that in consideration as we develop future models.
All right, I'm going to go back to this again, just because I think it really is interesting. What do you think that this controversy about the emotional impact that this change has made on so many people, what does that say about our society today and then the future development of these AI devices?
Well, I think we're going to continue to see AI become more and more integrated into every aspect of our lives. And I mean, that literally is the future. If we start looking at the way that ChatGPT and other AI bots have impacted just the job market, you're seeing where some jobs are being completely wiped out. But at the same time, we have to keep in mind that, these tools aren't designed to replace, they're designed to enhance. So that's where we have to take that initiative and learn how to use these tools and learn how to implement them to make us more effective, more efficient, and make ourselves still irreplaceable in this AI era.
People have definitely raised a lot of alarms when it comes to AI in general. People are very alarmed for the reasons that you just said about the potential of this really eliminating jobs. But you say first of all, know what you're talking about. Get invested in it, look at it, and maybe it's not quite as scary and quite as much of a doomsday as people are predicting. Has that been your experience?
Well, 100%. And it's really interesting because, ChatGPT dropped in November of 22. And here we are, August of 25.
Right.
And I'm still being asked the same questions I was being asked in 22 today.
Wow.
So people are slow to adopt, but we really have to be a little bit more proactive in our approach to accepting AI because it's not a fad.
It's happening.
It's not going
anywhere.
anywhere.
Going away.
It's here, and it's going to become
we
more
can't
important.
just do this and hide in a hole and pretend like it's not going to be there.
100%.
It's going to be here. Well, thank you. Thank you for
Thank you
helping
so
us
much.
you make it feel a lot more approachable.
Good. That's my goal.
We appreciate it.